Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. So today I am going to be doing numbers 49 through 45 on my ACE 100 list, Attainable Collection of Envy 100. These are all the greatest athletes of their time. Some of them are the greatest athletes ever, and they span all different sports. I have 100 different athletes here in this list. At some point in the near future, I'll put out the top 50 in my newsletter over at junkbackshero.com, and you can see what those top 50 are, and then I'll start putting them out a little bit more frequently here as I approach the top 25. We're down, after today, I'll be down to 45, 44 remaining. I'm really excited. So let's jump into number 49 is the 1981 Topps Joe Montana rookie. Joe Montana was the guy Tom Brady wanted to be. Tom Brady grew up a San Francisco fan. He was a Joe Montana super fan, idolized Joe Montana. I remember as a New England Patriots fan, when Brady won his third Super Bowl, he wasn't named MVP. Was it Deion Branch was named MVP of that one? And he was so upset about it. And somebody had to tell him, Joe Montana didn't win MVP of his third Super Bowl either. He won, I think it was Jerry Rice that won that one. And then Montana won in his fourth Super Bowl. And of course, Montana only won 4 Super Bowls. So Brady obviously went on to become better. But Joe Montana was an icon. He was a legend of that era, of the 1980s. And it's, you got to have a Joe Montana rookie. So 1981 Topps is the Joe Montana card I've selected, obviously. Montana was also a 2-time MVP, one of the all-time greats, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. There are about 32,000 in the PSA population. Only 113 have been graded a 10. I would not ever target a 10. You can get a 7 for about 200 bucks. That's what I would be going for. So that's number 49. Now, if you want a 7, you buy one raw, which is, I do sometimes. I've just bought 3 raw cards off Chris Sewell, which I'll have in my video this week, my mail day video this week. And I will be transferring those into Penny Slver products. Now, here is their semi-rigid, which I think it's not even close. It's by far the best in the industry. I'm actually about to buy some more because I'm down to my last 5 or 6. And yeah, the Penny Slver, buy them at 10% off using my code JWH on your first order at thepennyslver.com. Link is in the description to this video. Number 48 is completely coincidentally what PSA calls 1948 Leaf, but it's actually 1949 Leaf. Stan Musial. Musial had 3 MVP awards, 3 World Series, 7-time batting title champion, 24 times went to the All-Star game, 14-time top 10 in the MVP voting, 7 times top 2. So he was okay. He was, one of those mediocre players. I kid before I get some angry comments. There are about 1,300 of these in the PSA population. There are no 10s, only 2 9s. You can get a 1 for under $1,000. You can get a 3 for under $2,000. I'd probably be targeting somewhere in the middle there, 1.5 to 2. This is not his rookie card because he does have a 48 Bowman, which would be his rookie, but I much prefer the 49 Leaf personally. So what do you think? Which one do you prefer? Let me know in comments. Number 47 is the 1958 Topps Bobby Hull. I am not a hockey guy, but even I grew up hearing a lot about Bobby Hull. Bobby Hull is nicknamed the Golden Jet. What a great nickname. 2-time MVP, 3 times most points in a season, 7 times most goals, won Stanley Cup. There are 700, only 700 in the PSA population. So compare that to the greats of 1958 Topps baseball. PSA 2 goes for about $1,000. PSA 1 goes for about $600. So I'd be somewhere in there. That's what I'd be targeting personally of a 1958 Bobby Hull Topps card. That is his rookie. Then we have the number 46 T218 front-facing Jack Johnson. There are 2 of his cards in the T218 set. Jack Johnson, a legend. You know, the fight of the century in 1910 against James Jeffries was Jack Johnson was obviously a black man. James Jeffries was a white man, and he destroyed Jeffries, and it led to race riots around the country. And he became this kind of icon of race, and was the subject of a lot of racism over the years. But as Ken Burns said, for 13 years, he was a major figure in America. So Jack Johnson gets on my list as number 46. You can get his, there are 300 of his card in the PSA population. A lot of them are on eBay right now, which is unusual for such a small pop. PSA 2 goes for between $200 and $400 typically. So that's what I'd be targeting. Number 45 is 1979 Panini Diego Maradona, one of the greatest soccer players of all time. In fact, when you think of 20th century soccer, you probably think of Pele, but FIFA actually named the two of these guys co-FIFA players of the century, Diego Maradona and Pele. So that's pretty amazing. Argentinian soccer player, 1986 World Cup. He earned the Golden Ball, which goes to the best player. Argentina won the World Cup that year. And in the quarterfinal game, he scored both of their goals on the way to the win. One of those goals was the Hand of God goal, which, he used his hand to tip the ball in, and it was uncalled.
What point was he offside? Or was it a use of the hand that England are complaining about?
So the jersey from that has sold for a bonkers amount of money. It's a really, really famous moment in soccer history and world history, really. And then the same game also had the goal of the century, where he dribbled 60 meters down the field by himself past 5 defenders to score a goal.
And with 11 touches in 11 seconds, cemented his status as one of the game's all-time greats.
So, just a legend, an all-time great. 1979 Panini. There are 400 in the PSA population. 2 goes for $400. And this is a little bit peculiar, but a 7 only goes for about $1,500. So there's not a very big gap. You would expect to see a much bigger gap there. I would probably target something in the mid-range, 4 to 5, based on that. So let me know which of these you have, which of them you want, and if I got any of these wrong, which I know you will not shy away from. All right, guys, hope you have a great week. Make sure you buy your Penny Slver products at thepennyslver.com using my code JWH. And that is it for today. See you all soon.